January is basically over, so it's time to go through a February budget. If you are new here, hello, my name is Rachel. I have been budgeting this exact way on this exact spreadsheet since 2016, and it has been instrumental in helping me pay off over $150,000 of debt and just in general keep my life together and my finances from getting away from me, which is incredibly important, especially now for 2025, now that I'm living this like coast fire lifestyle and going to try to maintain it forever, even though right now my living situation is temporary. My brain just operates really well in a spreadsheet. So let's jump in. Here's the spreadsheet of my February budget. It looks relatively the same month after month, and two things that are not in my monthly bills that most people consider normal monthly bills, and those are cell phone and car insurance. Cell phone I pay annually, and car insurance I pay every 6 months. That is as infrequent as they'll let me pay, but paying for things annually or biannually generally lends a pretty good discount, so I try to do that whenever possible. Starting at the top with my incomes, right now my W-2 income is my largest income, and for February I have a goal of $1,000 take-home pay. It's a little bit higher than my goal for the last few months, but that's because I have some bigger expenses coming out in February, which I'll talk about when we get to the expenses. And then my next income is YouTube. In February, I'll get paid out for January, so I know generally what it's going to be before the month closes. And right now, it might be around $220, which is a good bit less than the last few months, but that's just because I have not been posting much. My next item down is support. I have $0 expectation for this, but some lovely people choose to support me through PayPal or Venmo, and I appreciate you guys so much. And it generally ends up being a line item in my budget. And then my high yield savings account interest, that's usually around $140. I have all of my emergency fund and sinking funds in a high yield account, which has dropped down to 3.8% APY lately, but it still brings in a pretty good little extra amount of money. And then side work is anything that I might choose to do on the side, and for me that's been Instacart, Uber Eats, or working for my brother, which I've not been doing the last couple months just because it's the middle of winter and the weather has been terrible and I've just been spending too much time in the car. My goal for that is $200, I guess. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Now, my expenses. Rent is, of course, my biggest expense. Housing is generally everyone's biggest expense, but I'm staying with my aunt right now because she's awesome and my life has been all over the place and I've been moving states a lot and there's a lot of factors in that, but she is letting me stay here for $500 a month, so that's what I'm paying right now. And then my health and dental insurance I get through the main state marketplace, and it's income-based, and it went up for 2025. It's now $91.54 for health and dental insurance. And electricity, gas, heat, and internet are $0 right now while I am living with my aunt, which is so awesome. And then Mohila is my student loan servicer. Federal student loans, for anyone that was in the SAVE program, we've been on an administrative forbearance for how many months now? I'm not really sure. I do have an update though. Last I was told, when I last spoke with Mohila, I was told that payments would be coming back for February. No. And that date kept getting pushed out a lot, but I actually have another update that I got the other day. I just want to read it. Sorry, not from Mohila, it's from the U.S. Department of Education. And, it just gave a quick recap on the court injunction and why this is all an administrative forbearance, or general forbearance, I should say. Just a quick snapshot from this email. You will be in this forbearance until servicers are able to accurately calculate monthly payments, which I submitted my new income to Mohila months ago, and they've not been able to calculate it yet. FSA expects servicers to be able to do as in calculate those monthly payments no earlier than September of 2025. Borrowers will be informed of any change to this litigation-related forbearance. So, of course, under general forbearance, you do not have to make your monthly payments. Interest is not accruing, and time spent does not provide credit towards any public service loan forgiveness or income-driven payment plan. So yeah, that's been extended quite a bit to September at the earliest, which is crazy. So I'm going to think more on what to do about that, because I don't have to stay in a forbearance with the SAVE program. I can opt to apply towards an income-driven repayment plan, which it was income based on the SAVE plan as well, but just, you know, it's a whole scene. So I need to feel that out a bit more. But that's the latest update that I have from anything federal student loan related. So yeah, $0 payment still for February. And now my gym membership is $69 a month, which is way too much money. But again, if I had a Planet Fitness near me, I would use it. And I'm just doing this high priced gym membership while I'm at my aunt's. Netflix is $22.99. No. Yes. No. I need to fix that. I just got an email the other day saying my February 28th payment, I think, is going to be $24.99 going forward. So that might need to be fixed, but close enough. Which now it's like, I've been dealing with these Netflix price increases all along, and I have the highest most expensive plan because my parents use it as well, and so I need like all of the households because I'm trying to get them off of cable, which is disgusting expensive. But anyway, I don't know. Netflix, you're on my chopping block with these price increases lately, because $25 a month for streaming service? I don't know. Food and household. I budgeted $250 for February. That's pretty much always what I try to keep it under, and I never do. Gas and car wash, I budgeted $160. Pet/vet, $0. I should not need to make any purchases for the cats this month. Invest, I have a goal of investing $50. And this is above and beyond my 401k. I always contribute to a 401k with every paycheck. My company gives a 5% match, so that's what I do. But this investing is above and beyond that, like to my Roth. Donate $50. Savings, I put it at $0. And that's just because I've got a high spend month, which I'll talk about in a second. And then spending, not the high spend things. This is just personal spending for whatever I might feel like purchasing throughout the month. And so $50 is my goal for that. But now in this other category is where those expensive items are. So my other goal, $1,000, I think. And that is because I have my 6-month car insurance premium coming out in February. That's going to be $534. And also I have my brakes scheduled to be fixed on the 3rd. Replaced. On the 3rd, I'm ballparking $500 for that. If I need to, I will pull from sinking funds for both of those items, since I have a sinking fund for both of those items. So that's why my outgoing this month looks quite a bit different than any projected incoming. And to cover that, I've got sinking funds, which are the next category, which, you know, we don't need to break down each one, but of course my car sinking fund is there for covering the brakes if I need it, and the annual expenses sinking fund is where I save for my car insurance and cell phone. So I've got the sinking funds to pull from those if I don't end up having enough income from my W-2 job in February. I have always tried to just cash roll any of those big expenses that I actually have sinking funds for. I just like to try to pay for them out of pocket in the moment, since I hate spending money that I've already saved. Even though that's what it's there for, I just have a thing about spending that money I've saved. And it's probably all the years with struggling with money and not having a savings. And now I'm like, ee! That's a tough mental block for me to get over, spending my saved money. But that's it. Oh, the next category, my debt, my student loans, which I talked about, which are still in a forbearance. But there they are. There they be. Overall, hopefully it'll be a financially quiet month. Hopefully I can get 2 sea days. More would be awesome, but if I can get 2 sea days, that'll more than cover my $1,000 income goal, so that would be neat. I've only gotten one in January, and that's all right. The winter, I knew it was gonna be tough with work. I work offshore, so obviously the summer months are better for that. So I'm honestly not worried about these winter months of lower income. As I've said a million times, I knew they were coming. I've prepared for this. I've saved for this. I did a really long trip in October to get me through the winter. So it's all good, whether it's coming from income or savings. Expenses will be covered, and that's what matters. And for all of you who might be interested in homestead things and seeing what I get up to this year, building myself a homestead and a garden and starting a life of self-sufficiency, that will be starting in February, probably mid to late February with maple sugar season. Here in New England, our gardening season doesn't really start until, I don't know, May, I guess. You can start putting things out, maybe even April, but you know, of course the seed starting also starts February, March, but the true first thing you can do outdoors every year, maple sugar season. Making some syrup. I'm so excited. I love maple syrup. It is damn expensive, and this year, gonna try to collect, harvest, process, hopefully a full year's worth of maple syrup so I can eliminate that item from my food and grocery bills and kickstart the whole self-sufficiency scene with one of my favorite things, maple syrup. So I feel like Elf right now. I don't put it on spaghetti, but I feel good about it, you know? How exciting. I bought maple taps well over a decade ago, and they have been still in the package the whole time. This whole time, they've been moving with me from home to home, apartment to apartment, like knowing one day I would get to use them. And I cannot believe that day is here. Well, it's, you know, in a few weeks. That year is here. Oh my gosh. So if you're into that, I will be doing a whole video about that. But that starts in February, and that has me so excited. As well as starting seeds. I'll share that with you guys too, for those who are interested. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope your January was awesome. Let me know if you have any big financial goals for yourself coming up in February, and I will see you guys again very soon.